Hello everyone, I'm Damian Owens and welcome back to Marshall Close-Up. Today I'm here with Sergeant Randall. He's an Army recruiter at the recruiting office in Paducah. Sergeant Randall, could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so as you said, I currently recruit in Paducah, Kentucky. I've been in the military or the Army for around 14 years. My main job is information technology, so I work on networks and printers and switches and routers and firewalls, which sounds kind of boring, but that's what I've been doing for most of the time. Once you make a certain rank in the Army, you end up getting pushed to be a drill sergeant or a recruiter. Of course, I chose to be a recruiter because I didn't want to go yell and holler at people all day, so here I am. I'm married, I have 4 kids. They're all younger, so yeah, that's a little about myself.
What would you describe like a day-to-day experience in your job?
Well, on the recruiting side of the house, day-to-day experiences, we come in, we see if anybody wants information about the Army, whether they go to the Army website or they go to the app or they've seen a commercial on TV and texted the number. We get a list of people that are interested, and we usually call them or message them to see what they're interested in. After that, we go to a school, usually maybe Marshall County lunch set up or McCracken County lunch set up, and we set up a table or a booth and stand up there to talk to people about the Army. Then we take a lunch break, usually go get some food or go work out or get a snack or whatever. And then we go back to the office and we make calls or find people on social media or go to the gym and go out and see face to face and try to meet and greet with people.
Okay. What would you consider to be one of your easier tasks of the day?
The easiest task for me is I think coming to the schools and hanging out during the lunch setups. It's become second nature and it's kind of enjoyable. I get to talk to you guys and hang out and make friends, so to speak, and it's become, that's probably the best and easiest part of my day.
What would be your hardest task?
Oh man, the hardest task. I would say all the paperwork we have to do. I like to be up and out and about and sitting at the desk with packets of paperwork to build into the system or government travel logs for our vehicles we use. We have to do a bunch of tedious work with that, putting into the system. So I think that is the most unenjoyable and worst part of my job.
When and why did you make the decision to join the Army?
So I graduated high school in 2010 from Apollo High School in Owensboro, which is not too far from here. I knew I wanted to do some kind of IT field. I didn't know what. I didn't have any experience. But with the housing crisis and the job loss during that time, it was very hard to find a job, especially if you didn't have any skills. So I never really thought about joining the military until somebody told me you can pick your job in the Army. So I was like, well, I wonder if they have any IT jobs. So I went and talked to a recruiter and I was like, I'd like to join, but I don't want to be, kicking in doors and doing stuff like that. I want to be working at a computer. And he said, well, we can make that happen. And he showed me a couple jobs that have the ability to work on computers and to work in the information technology field. I locked in one and the rest is history. Here I am.
Have you ever wanted to change jobs or positions?
I've thought about it a few times. So when you do join the military, you have a contract, right? So you do between 3 and 6 years. After my first contract was up, my first contract was 5 years. I had a couple decent job opportunities in Nashville area to work, and I was 30 days from getting out of the Army and taking these jobs, which would have been laying fiber for Google. But when I really sit back and evaluated what I wanted to do, I had not had any bad experiences up to that point, and I really liked the military up to that point. And I'd been able to travel overseas and see these other places. So the decision for me to stay in the Army was sort of difficult because I had to leave home again and do all that over again. But I do not regret it at all, and that was the closest I've been to changing my career.
Okay. Do you have any interesting stories about your job?
Oh, I have a bunch of interesting stories. One I think is probably one of my favorite. I was stationed in Germany for my first duty station, in 2012. And well, when you're stationed overseas, a lot of times you train with other militaries and do things with other armies, and you try to work together to make sure your allies and your connections are strong, and to make sure your equipment works together and all that. I got put on a mission to go support or to work with Israel. So I got to go to Israel and stay on an Air Force base and work. We hooked our networks up with the Israeli networks and made sure they were both compatible. And during that time, I got to travel and go see, Jerusalem and go to the Dead Sea and go travel around Israel and see all these cool sites. And when I really think about it, that's probably one of the coolest things I've had the experience of doing in the Army.
Okay. What do you enjoy most about your job?
What do I enjoy most? I enjoy coming to work and really it's just like a hangout a lot of the times. It never feels forced. I'm with a lot of other like-minded people around me, and we have a cohesion where we all just kind of joke around and get the work we need to get done. We get it done, obviously, and then it's more of a, what I said at first, it's like a hangout. It's, that's every day. It's what I look forward to.
Again, I know you just said where some places you've been, but like where else have you like traveled to?
So I've been to Germany. I've been to Israel. I lived in Korea for a year. I lived in Japan for 3 years. That's actually where I came from, back to Paducah. I went to Mexico for a couple months, and Poland. I went to Poland for 6 months. So I've traveled around a little bit. Had been to some diverse locations. It's really expanded my mind and helped me see how the world's kind of shaped through the military-industrial complex.
How do you balance your military life with your personal life?
This for me was pretty easy, I think, because I didn't have kids until later in my career. So I did a lot of hustling and bustling to get promoted and get to where I am early on. And so I did work late, and I worked a lot, and I studied a lot and did what I needed to do. And now I'm at a point where I can sit back and kind of hang out with my kids, or go home early if I want to, because I've made it a point to try to make the military work for my family instead of me working for the military at this stage in my career.
What are some of the challenges you've faced in the military?
Some of the challenges, the one that comes to mind, I missed the birth of my firstborn. I was in Korea and I couldn't leave. It wasn't a combat mission or nothing. I was living over there, but I couldn't leave until 2 months after her birth to go home and hang out with her and my wife. So that was one of the most difficult moments. Other than that, though, I've had a very rainbow and unicorn career. I've not had really anything bad happen to me or any real adversity. So that's what I go to for adversity.
Okay. What is something you wish you knew before you enlisted?
Something I wish I knew before I enlisted. Well, I went to the recruiter not knowing literally anything. I had no family background in the military or Army. So I wish I knew more about how you can utilize all these benefits for the military even after you get out of the military. I always thought that you could join and get this and this and this, but you had to be doing it while you're in. But actually, insurance and college money and how the VA loan and all these other benefits, you can do 3 years in the military, and once you get out and move on, those stay with you forever. That's something I didn't realize or know until a little bit later in my career.
Okay. How has the Army changed your perspective on life?
360 degrees to be blunt. Because growing up in a small town in Kentucky and then living overseas more than half of my career, my mind's been expanded to see other cultures and how other countries do things and how they do business, and it's really changed my perspective on Earth in general, and how people go about their day-to-day activities and cuisines and jobs in other countries. It's I come here and it's not even close to how I used to see it 10 years ago.
Do you do any workouts to stay fit for the military or anything?
So in the military, we usually, everybody works out every day from 6:30 a.m. until 7:30 a.m.
Okay.
And now at certain jobs, like me being a recruiter, I'm not required to go work out. Of course, I still do, because I believe it's very important for everybody to move and to stay fit. But when you go work out, you set your day off right by doing something hard. So I think that falls back on you learn that self-discipline, and you've learned what helps you tick and do better. But But yeah, so I like to run a lot. Running is one of the most enjoyable things for me. It's almost like my meditation. So I run almost every day between 3 and 5 miles.
Okay.
And then, you know, I'll take some days off here and there because I'm getting a little older and my back hurts. But yeah.
All right. Do you have anything else you want to add?
Nothing in particular. I would say the military's been a saving grace for me, and it's really helped me become the best version of myself. And I would like, you know, to extend that to other people, to have that option in their lives. And that's one of the fun parts about being a recruiter, is helping others bring the best out of themselves instead of settling for mediocre.
Okay. All right. Okay. As we come to the end of our time together, I want to extend my deepest gratitude to you, and not only for your service to our community, but also for the time you're taking to speak with me today. And thank you for all of you for watching. I'm Damian Owens of the Marshall County Media Arts Pathway, and thank you once again. And until next time, take care and stay safe.